Medicare for All, which is socialized medicine, and you can forget about your doctors and your plans.
Last night was the Trump town hall on ABC, and the amount of lying that Donald Trump did throughout this town hall, just completely insane. So I'm going to have more of a breakdown of most of the lies, or at least a good chunk of the lies, near the end of the video, thanks to Daniel Dale of CNN, who used to work for the Toronto Star. But I'm going to start here with healthcare. So there was a question about healthcare, and let me play this and break down the insanity.
If you look at what they want to do, where they have socialized medicine, they will get rid of pre-existing conditions. If they go into Medicare for All, which is socialized medicine, and you can forget about your doctors and your plans, just like you could forget under President Obama. He said you can have your doctor, you can have your plan, and that turned out to be a lie. And he said it 28 different times, at least. We have 28 different times. You can have your doctor, you can have your plan. Well, it's not true. But what we're doing is we're going to be doing a health care plan, pre-existing, protecting people with pre-existing conditions. As an example, yourself. It sounds like that's exactly perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about. We're going to be doing a health care plan very strongly and protect people with pre-existing conditions. I will say this. They will not do that because they have socialized.
I have to stop you there.
Socialized
I just have to stop you there because it's just on a couple of points. Number one, Joe Biden has ran against Medicare for All in the primaries. But much more importantly, Obamacare guaranteed people with pre-existing conditions could buy insurance, guaranteed they could buy it at the same price as everyone else, guaranteed a package of essential benefits, guaranteed that insurance companies couldn't put a lifetime limit on those benefits. You fought to repeal Obamacare. You are arguing.
Well, I essentially did.
You're arguing in the Supreme Court right now to strike it down. That would do away with pre-existing conditions.
So that we can do new health care.
But you've been promising a new health care plan. I interviewed you in June of last year. You said the health care plan would come in 2 weeks. You told Chris Wallace that this summer it would come in 3 weeks. You promised an executive order on pre-existing.
I have it already.
But you've been trying to strike down pre-existing conditions.
I have it already, and it's a much better plan for you, and it's a much better plan.
He has it already. He has his plan. It's all ready. He's ready. He's had it for years. One of these days, he's going to tell you about it. How does anybody watch this and not get pissed off if you know anything about anything? How does a Trump supporter watch this and not realize this man has had no healthcare plan the entire time? All he's tried to do is repeal the Affordable Care Act. That's all he's trying to do. That's all he's done. How do you not see through this bullshit? It is amazing to me, the amount of people that fall into this crap. And look, George Stephanopoulos did a good job pushing back on the latter half of it there. But Trump's lies as well about Medicare for All. Medicare for All would throw you off of your healthcare plan. You would lose your doctor. There was no pushback at all to that bullshit. Medicare for All puts everybody on the same plan. It is a single payer plan. You all pay into it. It is a single plan, meaning that there is no in-network, out-of-network. If you have a doctor, you keep that doctor because everybody's on the same plan. You get whatever doctor you want. The wealthiest people in the country, your Congress people, would be on the same healthcare plan as you are because you all pay into it. It is a comprehensive single payer plan. You not only would keep your plan, your healthcare coverage would expand under Medicare for All, covering things like dental. The amount of BS in this answer is just, it's a taste of the lies throughout this town hall. I don't know how anybody can stand this crap. Now, just going off of what Stephanopoulos there pushed back on, Trump is trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act. What little coverage people have, he's trying to get rid of, which, yes, would get rid of pre-existing conditions. That is what he's trying to do right now. Yet, he lies and lies and lies and lies about it. Oh, we have a plan. We got a plan. We got a plan. He's been saying they have a plan for years. Remember, in 2016, before he won, he was saying that my plan, you'll all be covered. Everyone's covered. Where's that plan? It's been 4 years. He is so full of shit. It is incredible. Let's go now to COVID. COVID and masks.
The wearing of masks has proven to lessen the spread of COVID. Why don't you support a mandate for national mask wearing? And why don't you wear a mask more often?
Well, I do wear them when I have to and when I'm in hospitals and other locations. But I will say this. They said at the Democrat convention they're going to do a national mandate. They never did it because they've checked out and they didn't do it. And a good question is you ask, like Joe Biden, they said we're going to do a national mandate on masks.
He's called on all governors to have them. It is a state responsibility.
No, but he didn't do it. I mean, he never did it. Now, there is, by the way, a lot of people don't want to wear masks. There are a lot of people think the masks are not good. And there are a lot of people that, as an example,
Who are those people?
Well, I'll tell you who those people are. Waiters, they come over and they serve you and they have a mask. And I saw it the other day where they were serving me. And they're playing with a mask. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying what happens. They're playing with a mask, so the mask is over, and they're touching it, and then they're touching the plate. That can't be good. There are a lot of people. If you look at Dr. Fauci's original statement, you look at a lot of people, CDC, you look at a lot of people's original statement, they said very strongly, George, don't wear masks. Then all of a sudden they went to wear masks. The concept of a mask is good, but it also does, you're constantly touching it, you're touching your face, you're touching plates. There are people that don't think masks are good.
You know, we still are dealing with 195,000 deaths in the United States right now. When you see that, when you think about that, does that give you any pause? Does it make you think, is there anything I could have done differently? Anything?
I think we could have had 2 million deaths if we didn't close out the country.
So you regret nothing?
No, I think we did a great job.
Did a great job. Donald Trump, the administration, did a great job. Great job. Daily new confirmed COVID-19 cases per million people. Rolling 7-day average. Great job compared to Australia, Canada, the UK. Great job. It's going back up now. Came down for a bit. Going back up. And still already, look how many more cases there are per million people compared to other countries. And by the way, at any country here, Norway, and the only ones that really come close are other neo-fascist countries like Brazil, run by Jair Bolsonaro. There you go. 2 neo-fascists. Brazil, the US. This is what happens when your leaders don't give a shit about you. Did a great job. No regrets. Now, on the masks aspect of this, there is so much crap about this as well. Nobody was saying don't wear masks. The issue was at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a worry that people would buy up medical masks, N95 masks, meaning that there would be less for doctors to have who really need N95 masks. If you go back in March, you can see videos online of people, YouTube videos of how people are making their own masks at home. That's because it was still recommended, if you can, to wear a cloth mask. But don't wear N95 medical masks. That was the actual discussion. Why do doctors wear masks before this pandemic? To keep their germs out. That's the whole point. Like, how can anybody be under any impression that a mask would have hurt? It's completely insane to act like that was the discussion when that was never the discussion. Obviously, masks prevent your germs from going out more than they would otherwise. So, ton of BS, of course, on masks there. And then, of course, as well, the mandate. Tell me, please, Mr. Trump, how Joe Biden would institute a national mask mandate when he is not the president. Democrats don't control the Senate. Tell me how Joe Biden would have instituted a national mask mandate. Just the insanity. The total insanity from this fucking lunatic. One last video here. This is a rundown of not even all the lies, but many of the lies from Donald Trump during this town hall. Daniel Dale here, as I said, former Toronto Star journalist, now CNN contributor, breaks down many of the lies here on CNN.
Daniel, let me bring you in because you've been busy fact-checking this town hall. What stood out to you?
There was just so much lying, Don. I'm going to go quickly here, so literally just stop me whenever you need to. He said again, Democrats won't protect people with pre-existing conditions. That is nonsense. As a voter told him, Democrats created those protections. He insisted he didn't praise China on the virus. He did so repeatedly. We know that. He claimed that nobody knew at the time he was praising China that seniors were especially susceptible to the virus. That was one of the first things we learned out of China and out of Italy and out of the U.S. He claimed that Biden said in March that the pandemic was, quote, totally over-exaggerated. I can find no evidence that Biden ever said that. He said that Winston Churchill was kind of like him playing down stuff because he went on rooftops in London during the Nazi bombing and told people everything's going to be good. Churchill did not speak from the rooftops and did not say everything's going to be good. He warned of suffering and danger. Trump said that he fired James Mattis. Mattis resigned. He said that protesters took over 20% of Seattle. It was a 6-block area, nowhere close to 20%. He took credit again for sending in the National Guard in Minneapolis, saying that this happened after a week and a half of violence there. It was not even close to a week and a half. It was days, and the Democratic governor is the one who activated the Guard. He said he essentially repealed Obamacare by getting rid of the individual mandate. Not even close to true with the Medicaid expansion, pre-existing conditions protections, other stuff remains. He said the cupboards were empty of ventilators. His administration admits he inherited about 16,000 from Obama. He did his usual false boast about so-called bans on travel from China and Europe. They were not complete bans. He said stocks are owned by, quote, everybody. Just about half of Americans own stocks. He repeated his nonsense about testing causing cases. Testing merely reveals and helps fight cases. He said that Biden has agreed to a Bernie Sanders style socialized healthcare. He fought Sanders on that issue. He has very much not agreed to a Sanders style plan. And Don, this is a preliminary list. I have hours of fact checking tonight to do because there's even more than this. So this was just a fire hose of lying again from the president.
I am so over this era of politics. I am over these 4 years. If Trump doesn't lose, if Trump isn't out, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's too much. It's too much. Aren't you tired? Apart from the obvious impact on people's lives, aren't you just tired of Trump? Aren't you tired of hearing about him every day? Aren't you tired of dealing with these lies, with this insanity? There has to have been over a hundred bombshell stories that in any other presidency would have taken up years of discussions. But because there's been so much during Trump's presidency, a lot of it gets lost. And we don't really have the time to focus on how completely insane this administration has been. I just covered yesterday, forced sterilizations of Spanish-speaking detainees in an ICE facility. It's way too much. It's way too much. I am so sick and tired of this president. And I hope to God, I'm not religious, but I hope to God that he is removed from office in November.